Welcome back. Time to see what you've been saying on the various issues that we've posted on our social media sites. And Miss G is here to take us through it.
Sure, it's time to get interactive on Joy News Prime. Grab your phones, tablets, and all the gadgets so we can share ideas on issues making headlines. Join us on Facebook on Joy News on TV, on Twitter as Joy News on TV. WhatsApp 0560 800,000. Please don't call. Let's get talking. All People's Congress flag bearer Hassan Ayariga becomes second disqualified presidential aspirant to win his case against the Electoral Commission. Do you think the EC should use this opportunity to call back all the disqualified candidates and clear them to participate in the December elections?
Most of his issues run through all the others. So if he has been allowed to go to the AC to make all the corrections, then it means subsequently, out of maybe, I won't call it regret, but maybe to curb the pride and all that, they are going to call all of them back.
I think that going forward, some of these things should not be entertained. If you are disqualified, you are disqualified.
If 2 out of the 12 who have petitioned have won their cases, then it makes it a democratic process. It's not as if they shouldn't come back to make the ballot paper clumsy and all that. We claim to be practicing democracy, and that is democracy. I was thinking that initially maybe there was a strong CI that stated that if you are rejected, that is all. But to go to the extent of petitioning and winning means the EC didn't do her homework well, to some extent. One which I thought was very demeaning and very controversial, which is Papa Kwesi Ndum's one. If even he could win his case, come on. They might all be called back. Who knows? If they all decide to petition.
Well, for me, I doubt if they will all be called back. Because if they call all of them back, then I think that the credibility of the EC will be at stake. Because these are people that you actually disqualified in the first place, saying that they actually, their forms were filled with some form of illegality. That's why you disqualified them. So if you are calling them back, on what basis are you calling them back? In Papa Kwesi's case, the court said we should give him a second chance. Hassan Ayariga's case, they said we should give him a second chance. But these are people who want to lead the country, and they are petty mistakes that they shouldn't commit. So for me, I think that if they've erred, they should be kicked out.
But come on, someone will say if you take NDC out, the election is over. If you take MPP out, the election is over. It is the process. Then I mean they didn't take enough time to go through the forms.
It will undermine their authority as a commission. Because this is a commission that we are supposed to trust. And you know that in Africa, we don't joke with elections. If we are having an election and it has to be a wholesale pass, then I think that we are joking as a country. Because we need competent leaders to lead this country. We don't need jokers.
All right, so those are some comments from the street. Arab, are you ready with comments on Facebook?
Certainly, and they're coming in thick and fast. Stephen Ayegugu says, yes, the issue should better call all disqualified aspirants who got similar complaints and ask them to do the necessary correction in time so that we can vote on December 7. If not, some may wait and file their cases very close to the election. Jonathan Esong writes, it's amazing how the EC is conducting itself within this limited time frame. They should admit that they erred in the first place without giving all the aspirants, disqualified aspirants, time to make changes on their forms. Their stance is not healthy. I have a strong feeling that the Supreme Court will uphold the verdict of the High Court and quash the decision of the EC. But Banton no better writes, I think the EC knows what they're doing. Please, let them exercise their constitutional right. I think the 2012 election speaks a lot about why we should not overlook some of these petty mistakes. Ilyasu Haruna Tamale writes, assuming the Supreme Court goes the way of the EC, is it binding on other disqualified aspirants? The EC is now crisscrossing from court to court out of a self-inflicted issue. And Paul Kofi Bedu says, yes, of course, if not, Ekwadonko will soon sue the EC and win her case at court. At this point, all Ghanaians will believe that the new EC boss is highly incompetent to chair the upcoming December elections. And a few more. Roland Abre writes, the serious ones should push hard for their rights to be on the electoral papers. I think the EC should be human-friendly and follow due process and stop thinking about how they own the commission. I don't quite get that. Anum Kwejo Martin writes, yes, but I personally think that the arrogance of the EC chairperson will not allow her to think before acting. I think that's a bit harsh. Philanthropist Rich writes, I think the EC knows what they're doing, but they should make sure that their actions should not disrupt the election in December 7th. And Boating Kenneth Dankwa writes, it shows our democracy. She should clear all the other candidates to correct their errors. So varied views there, Ms. G.
Okay, so let's go to WhatsApp, and it says, I think the Supreme Court should settle this election matter once and for all so that there can be peace in the country. You didn't add your name. But what's been happening clearly indicates that there's a question mark on the EC. Now, what shows our voter register is credible? I can't think far. EC breaching their own laws. Change is coming from Ismail in Wa. Also, Ms. G, the fact that the EC has already lost its credibility in conducting the December polls. This is just an example. Sadiq from Tamale says so. So let's go on to some other stories and call it old-fashioned or impossible, but there is a new trend. It may not have caught your eyes on yet as expected, but the creator believes more people will soon buy into the vision. I'm talking about the latest shirt the creator prefers to call Superfly. Would you dare try it on? Araba.
Yes.
Yeah, Superfly. I told you I was getting it for his question.
Yes.
But would you dare give it to someone as buy and even give it to someone as a gift?
No, because I know they won't wear it. That's the truth. I'm sorry, it's very harsh, but that is the truth. Well, let's get some comments on Facebook. Banton Norbete agrees with me. He says, no, I won't. I just listened to the designer, and his reason for wearing that cover was just for attention, which I think, excuse my words, is not for responsible men. Shipman Osei writes, oh, Joy News, what is the crime of men on this bulletin? Hey, I can't think far. And Wisdom Ago Amepeu writes, why not? It's new fashion trend, and I will wear it when the days of Angelina was introduced. It became very popular in Ghana. So, well, some will wear it, some...
But you can't compare that to Angelina. Angelina was just a fabric. You decided what style you wanted to sew, like, you know.
Who knows? But like I was saying, fashion evolves, you know. And nowadays, people are doing crazy things in the name of art and fashion. So, who knows? Maybe it might become a trend. But honestly, I don't see our boss
let me read some few comments that I have got. This is real old school. Rahuf in Tamale says, so, Miss Joke, you like my outfit. Very soon I'll put on. But if you're a lady and you put on that Superfly outfit, does it make any difference?
No, so it would be appropriate for a lady, but not for a man.
Okay, so let's read some more. It says, I wouldn't dare put that on. In fact, my wife would lock me and leave the house. Barima Kubaji from Ginny sends this one to us. And when the fashion designers run out of ideas, they cross carpet to bring out funny stuff like Superfly. Robert Mugabe's quote. Are you sure? Oh, this is Robert Mugabe from Nkwanta anyway. So Edward in Boku says, I think the designer should be welcomed since it's an old design and Kaba. Ima Kaba, yeah. Not at all. Will I wear the Kaba because Kaba is nothing else. Anyway, let's go see the visual of this Superfly style.
Fashion is in vogue now. We have different trends, and anyone will ascribe fashion his or her choice of a particular way of dressing to suit himself. Talking about men wearing kaba, you know, the kind of style it should come with. I see no wrong. Like, I see nothing like weird about it, as long as it's very nice and it's fashionable and it's comfortable with the person wearing it.
Wearing kaba, I think society must differentiate us within certain distinction from how ladies dress and how guys dress. So I see everything wrong with a guy wearing a kaba.
Yes, culture is culture, and there's nothing wrong if a man is wearing a kaba.
My problem is, what is the main reason why you are putting on the kaba? Yeah, we say fashion. What is fashion? We should not jump to anything and call it fashion. If that's the case, then we'll be wearing bikini and bra along the street and call it fashion. Fashion comes in different forms, but how does it define the society? How does it speak about the culture? How does it speak about your religion? How does it speak about you, the individual? These are the things that define the society, and these are the things that defines us as an African. Yes, we can all put on what ladies can put on. Ladies can put on what men can put on. But what is the main reason? What is the main idea of why you are putting on this?
And let's look at the men who wear the earring. Let's look at the men who have certain hairstyles that is more ascribed to women. And you are saying that a man should be identified as a man in terms of his dress and no woman in terms. So there's nothing wrong if a man also goes to put on a kaba. It's just a clothing.
Yeah, she's talking of a guy piercing the ear and putting on arrogant hairstyles. Yeah, as I said, all these things must not be encouraged and must not be put into practice, because this is not what we known guys for. There might not be rules or norms or regulations that says a guy must not put on kaba, but in your own, I don't know if I should use dignity or in your own self, I don't know how the guy will even feel putting on a kaba.
Would you allow your husband or your dad wear kaba?
Oh, for that, no.
But you said it was okay.
Yeah, it's okay for a man who is interested to wear it, but for my husband and dad, no. And because me working with my husband, and let's say I'm in a kaba and also in a kaba, I mean, it's going to be hilarious.
It's not always about you. It's always about the society. It's always about how you feel, how you are going to do about it. Then trust me, you'll not be living in a harmonious community.
Araba. Anyway, these are people talking about Superfly. You know, I love the lady saying that, you know, as for her husband or her father, she won't let him put that
It's interesting that in the beginning she was
all for it.
She was all for it, and then when they put the question to her as to whether her husband or her father should wear it, she said no. Yes.
Anyway, so what are people saying on Facebook?
Well, what in Kenneth Dankwa writes, hey, now men are wearing kaba. Yes, and then Anum Kwejo Martin says, never, saying that he will never wear that. He says, women are trying to be like men, so should we also be like women to haba? And OG Sprog Abdullah writes, no, please. So it doesn't look like the men are too keen
on this about it at all. So let's go to another story. A recent study on male birth control is making the rounds, and for good reason. The drug trial had a 96% success rate, a pharmaceutical light at the end of the tunnel after nearly 60 years of women bearing the brunt of responsibility for preventing unwanted pregnancies. Do you think men should be on contraceptives to feel what women or their partners go through?
Well, of course, it's normal. They shouldn't complain that it's because it gives them, well, it has some side effects that at some points, well, damages or causes some defects to their system and then how the system operates. But the men, yes, I think they should get some contraceptives that aren't long term. It's then short term ones, those ones that you use and then you can remove. Something you can actually delete after you use, and later you can actually do it without any contraceptive. Yes.
What if it's a pill you have to swallow?
No problem, as long as it doesn't cause side effects that are actually serious side effects.
It's not necessarily that a guy should take a contraceptive, but I think you can bear with a woman with the method she's using, so that you can help her not to get pregnant. It shouldn't be in a case of them taking drugs or going through particular methods.
Why?
Why? Because they can help. At least, you know, we have the withdrawal. It's not necessarily that you go for the drugs.
Some men wouldn't want to withdraw.
No, but the thing is that originally birth control is a union decision you take, both the man and the woman. So of course, before they even take the decision, they know the side effects. They go to the doctor and the doctor tells them that this was going to happen, this was going to happen. Okay, when the ladies see that after weighing the risks, and they realize that they have more chance of getting out of it than the man does, she would take that birth control method. And if the man also weighs it and see that, okay, let me take this birth control method, it's actually a short term that I would.
Okay, Araba, so I'm going to ask you the question that, you know, Jifa asked the young lady. Would you allow your husband to go on contraceptives?
It depends on the circumstances, but I'll keep my answer to myself.
You always keep your answers to yourself anyway.
Yes, you have to have an air of mystery around you.
Okay, so I'm sure time is up, and that's all we can do for GNI. So
All right.
over to you.
No trending.